Hi, BonBon here. This is being recorded on Christmas Day morning, so a genuine Merry Christmas to you. Well, you've probably noticed I haven't been as active on YouTube as I used to be. I guess it's time for a life update. Advance warning, this video may have verbal triggers for any victims of violent crime, and if that's you, thanks for watching, but go and have a festive day instead. In the background will be some game footage. I'm not city building right now, but I do feel I should give you something to watch. I have no idea what it will be, but I'll try to keep it festive-ish. Moving on. So, a couple of years ago, life was getting really tough. My business was struggling and I was getting hit by repeated serious crime, specifically burglaries. On top of that, the next big thing for my channel, that being City Skylines 2, was a resounding flop in almost every sense that you can imagine. I was exhausted, run down and out of creative motivation. My midterm plans had been to see out my lease on the business property about another 2 years, and then further to the passing of my mother in 2022, with nothing left to tie me to the town, I planned to move north to spend more quality time with my father and hopefully be of some help with the caring of his wife, who was starting to suffer with Alzheimer's. Well, in the early summer of 2024, crime hit me again. This time, I was robbed at my store, the perpetrators beating me in the back room to try to gain access to the safe. Luckily, beyond some very heavy bruising, I survived without any broken bones. But I was limping for over a week, and my face took some time for the swelling to go down. The perpetrators weren't immediately captured. The first was caught after a couple of days, and the second was well over a week. By the time things got to court, the UK was at an all-time low for prison places, literally down to around 100 nationwide, and it was all over the national news. One of the guys had spent a couple of years behind bars, about a decade ago. When my case went to court, he had already been sentenced for another crime committed on the very same day, and was already serving a custodial sentence. The sentence he got for his crime against me ran concurrently with his existing sentence, so naturally this doesn't feel like justice was done at all. He is now out on the streets again. His criminal, the one who was captured first, was let out with a warning, as this was his first offence. The guy had punched me multiple times in the face and walked out of my store with the entire till under his arm, with witnesses and CCTV. Learning that this guy was local and about a 20-minute walk from my home, living opposite my supermarket of choice, I simply did not feel safe and took the immediate decision to default on my lease and move away, there and then. Fortunately, my landlord was very understanding, and so here I am, in the north, where people talk funny. Or maybe I do, I don't know. With no time to prepare, I moved into what can be best described as temporary accommodation. Naturally, I don't want to go into too many details, but I planned to move into something more permanent in a matter of months. It has now been a year and a half. On arrival, it didn't take me too long to find employment. In the same sector as before, I found myself able to use my experience and knowledge to really benefit an understanding and compassionate employer. I've been with them for over a year now and feel trusted and much safer than I was back at home. My new accommodation is shared, and while relatively quiet, I do find myself interrupted where before I would make videos without the fear of another voice. Yes, there were sirens and motorbikes, but there were no walk-ins. Further, I'm very self-conscious when recording voiceovers that I might be disturbing someone else. These reasons, along with working full-time in a neighbouring town, with a couple of hours commute each day, have limited my ability to make regular content. But some of this should be changing in early 2026. I have an offer in on the property. It is perfect for my needs, with a dedicated studio room, and is on my bus route to work and just a half an hour walk from my father's house. I put the initial offer back in April 2025. There have been a lot of hold-ups, but it really does look like we should complete in the early new year. Now, in the urgent rush to move up north, I left all my furniture and appliances in my old flat, so I have to start all over again. Even if we do complete in January, I feel it will be March before I have furnished the property to be able to move in. But once that has happened, when I get home, it will just be me. Again. And that's how I like it. I know there won't be time for daily videos. Work and commutes will prevent that. But distractions will be removed. So maybe, just maybe, we can get something to happen. So, there, that's the life update. Now, I have been asked if I'll be starting Skylines 2 content now that it's starting to get itself into order. My instinct says, no. no. But, I really should load up the game again and play it for a few hours, just to see what state it really is in, and to check out the new workshop content, for want of a better phrase, now that the building editor is finally live. Now, I'll be on Boxing Day. It might even make it a live stream, so keep an eye out for that. Be good to see you there. But meanwhile, that's enough from me for now. I hope you're healthy, in good spirits, and are having a wonderful Christmas with family if you are lucky enough to have them about. I will be making a community post when things progress a little bit with the house move, and maybe even pictures of the new studio, if and when that even happens. So thanks for watching. I've been BonBonB, and you've been very, very welcome. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas.